Can I give you a quick compliment? I I was not a fan of Flipper back in the days. I even had if you typed in Flipper review on Google, I think I got an angry email from Flipper as well back in the days, asking me to take it. I forgot, it was a very long time ago. It was like 8 or 9 years ago.
Yep.
If you typed in Flipper review on Google, my website used to come up, and I had a very negative review of Flipper. It
Oh
was
no.
scam. It was a scammy marketplace, a lot of cheaters, a lot of scams and spams, generally bad quality digital assets, and I advise people not buying or selling anything on Flipper. It was a totally different marketplace back in the days. Everything was free. You didn't have to pay a listing fee to sign up. Those who know. And things have changed quite a bit in recent past, and now I pretty much go on Flipper at least once a week to look at assets. So and I have had interesting chats with potential purchase opportunities as well in like recent past, in the last 2 3 months,
Yep.
and I would probably end up buying one or two as well. So yeah, well done.
That's really nice to hear. I mean, obviously, marketplaces are difficult and you're dealing with customers all over the world. And our job is to ensure that it's a safe and secure place where obviously both investor as well as entrepreneur looking to exit can do, successfully can successfully trade without feeling that they're inhibited by bad actors or that something will go wrong. And we've obviously invested an enormous amount of time, effort, and money into ensuring that the platform is one, A grade, two, full of great assets, and three, safe.
Nice. How difficult is it to grow a marketplace compared to like a traditional digital business, let's say an e-commerce?
It's a hard thing to articulate, um, but it's a lot harder. And I would
Okay.
say there's probably two main reasons for that. The first one is obviously your first set of customers can't trade without your second set of customers.
What do you mean by that?
So you have a supply and a demand side. And
Yeah.
obviously, what tends to happen in business is you create a product or you buy a product and then you on sell that product. Obviously, in a marketplace context, you don't necessarily create a product and you don't on sell a product. You're reliant on your sell side who has created the product, who wants to on sell the product. And then you're hoping that the quality of that sell side matches the needs of the demand side and that you can adequately find them a partner to do dealings with in a fastest possible way and in the safest possible way. And the fact that you've got not one human to sell to, but two humans to sell to makes it complex. The second thing that is complex is the matching itself. So it's one thing to have 1,000 sellers and 1,000 buyers. It's another thing to have 1,000 sellers that are relevant for 1,000 buyers. And so figuring out the matching algorithm and making sure that you can do that constructively and quickly on behalf of both parties makes it unique. And then pricing. So typically in a traditional SaaS business or an e-commerce business or a publishing business, you control pricing. You might get it wrong, but it's still your decision. So I tell you that I want to sell you this influencer marketing software and I'm going to charge you $199 a month.
Yeah.
I might get it wrong, but it's still my choice. Whereas in a marketplace context, pricing is dictated by the supply side. And until you've got an enormous amount of data, your ability to influence the supply side is poor. Once you have a lot of data and can give them preciseness and predictability, it improves, but you're still always battling between what you think is the right price and what they want. And that is unique to a marketplace experience.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that problem will probably never go away, right? Yeah.
No, no. I mean, I think AI makes it a lot easier, right? Because you can run um, large data sets through a predictability engine and give some person, some seller, great confidence around a pricing algorithm.
Gotcha. You mentioned growth a couple of times. Before you joined Flippa, you said you worked in like growth positions. And also you grew Flippa quite substantially over the last 5 or 6 years. Give us some growth hacks or like growth strategies that we can use in our businesses, not marketplaces. Like most of my audience would probably have, they'd probably have a publishing business or an agency or a regular e-commerce or an F-commerce, as they say in Bangladesh, like
Yeah.
business that have a website, but they do most of their transaction within Facebook. So yeah,
Yeah.
digital businesses.
So I think it's best to speak of real examples, and hopefully those examples can inspire others to think through the problems that their businesses may be facing and growth opportunities accordingly. So one example for us was that our valuation experience, the valuation bot, whereby we take on inputs from an entrepreneur and we give them a price or a valuation, indicative valuation for their business based on historical sales data. We noticed that that was converting very poorly on mobile. And so first thing is, do you understand the conversion rate on desktop versus mobile? And so we understood that it was converting far worse. And we had to then figure that out because 55% of Flippa's traffic is mobile traffic. And so it appeared that there were two major problems. The bot itself was rendering poorly in a mobile experience. And the freeform text box where you begin the bot experience rendered so poorly that it almost looked transparent. And so we had to, and in fact, the bot layer was bigger than the UI itself. So it was poorly designed, bigger than the mobile UI itself. And so by thinking through that, and actually, you'll notice that if you look up the valuation experience on mobile versus desktop, on desktop, it goes straight into the bot. On mobile, it says, please click here to start your experience. And we got a 44% increase week on week on our mobile experience from that optimization. And so that's not rocket science. That's just observing the data and then making smart design decisions which are in the interest of the customer. And as a result of that, our SDRs, sales development representatives, have more leads to call upon. And as a result of that, we've seen a record number of listings. And so that's an obvious growth hack that I think almost anyone can benefit from thinking through. The second one is don't underestimate where customers will begin their journey. And so we had historically believed that most people would start their experience from either the sell page, which is I want to sell, therefore I will start the onboarding process, or from the valuation page. I want a valuation, therefore I will value my business with Flippa. And what we had ignored was that a lot of people wanted to see who the buyers were before they went through that process, or see some insights that would govern the likelihood of them selling, multiples, both revenue and profit, time to sell, the types of buyers that would be interested, etc. So they wanted some data. So we built some new funnels, and those new funnels expose new opportunities for the customer base to start their experience with Flippa. And as a result of that, we were able to increase leads on a 3-month window 22%.
Nice.
And so the point being is we underestimated just how many different pathways to enter the selling experience there should be. And we had tried to put the customers inside one of two boxes that we had defined. And as a result of that, we didn't necessarily limit growth because we've been growing really well. But we've perhaps lifted the lid on new opportunities for growth.